Councilor Green. I'm joined by Councilor Fiscal, Councilor Allen, Councilor Hogan, and Councilor Paniagua. So I'll turn it over for the budget presentation.
Good morning again, Leah Whitmer. I'm going to go ahead and call myself the director of the Parking Violations Bureau. So I just anointed myself. As most of you are aware, I believe, we're folding the Parking Violations Bureau, so the adjudication side of parking in with the adjudication side of the BAA. So they'll remain two separate departments. The PVB will remain under finance, under Brad. But this way everything's kind of streamlined, so we can combine processes, we can combine equipment, and it's all in a centralized location, which again, the plan is for the BAA to move over into the old parking adjudication space so that we'll have a nice hearing room over there for both the parking and the BAA hearings. I'll jump right into the budget specifics. So on page 106 under personal service details, you'll see that with the restructuring of the finance department and the city payment center, pretty much everything else has been stripped out of this except of what is applicable to the adjudication side of things. So I'm asking for one clerk that'll handle the administration side of the hearings. And then we have the senior hearing examiners. The number in my version is 3. There's actually 4 on staff right now. They're all part-time, paid at an hourly rate of $75 an hour. So that'll stay the same. Those, if we flip over to page 107, you'll see that fiscal year 21 has a projected 0 for that temporary services line. And that's largely in part because those hearing examiners have not been brought back yet due to the closure of City Hall and the stop of in-person hearings for parking. We have one hearing examiner, John Black, which is under the professional services line. That's where part of his salary is. He's with parking 2 days a week. The other 3 days he's with the law department. So he's been on doing ex parte hearings. And I'm in the process of bringing back the other 4 examiners. So, and I'm going to try and give them as many hours as they can for May and June so that we can work through the backlog of at least the ex parte hearings. And then I'm going to implement a similar process to the BAA with our virtual hearings and get going with the backlog of in-person hearing requests with parking violations for that initial hearing. The person who's ticketed can request either an ex parte hearing, meaning they're just submitting papers with their defense and their evidence right on the papers, which the hearing examiners decide, or they can request an in-person hearing. So we do unfortunately have a backlog of those, but again, I've spoken with all 4 of the hearing examiners as well as the supervising examiner, John Black, and the 4 are all willing to come back as early as next week. So I'm just working to get them set up, get them in, and then I'm going to give them all additional hours since we have that money in the budget that we haven't used all fiscal year, and try and go through some of that backlog. And then once we hit the new fiscal year, we'll go back to, they were all working approximately 3 to 4 hour shifts a week, and move forward with both the ex parte. And again, at this time, we'll stay virtual hearings via WebEx, which you're all aware I've been doing for the BAA since July, and it's worked really well. The only other changes in the budget would be office supplies. Again, the number is low this year because of the limited amount of ex parte hearings that have been done. And then the rest of the budget line for that for next year for the proposed amount goes down a bit. I had expressed during the BAA hearing earlier this morning that the printing expenses side of things, that's in the BAA budget. So that's why that's a little bit lower. And then I just tried to clean up anywhere else that there was funding in or items budgeted that I didn't think we need. And that's really all that's in this budget. It's a pretty minimal budget, but I'm happy to ask or answer specific questions around it.
Councilor Green?
Go ahead, Councilor.
Leah, what is payment to other government, Are those fees?
That I don't know what it was, so that's why I took it out. Nobody could answer what it was in the past. So I think maybe it might have been for filing something. I'm not sure, but at this point I couldn't determine what it was, so I took it out. This is my first time with the parking budget, so it'll be an evaluation of what works, what doesn't work. Next year, maybe I'll ask for, more positions, or maybe we do need money to file something. But at this point, I couldn't think of anything that we would need it. So that's why I removed that item.
Oh, okay, it's still in my book. Maybe my book was printed earlier.
It's under the fiscal year 21 adopted, and then mine shows zeros for 21 projected and 22 proposed.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I guess with the salary, I'm not, but never mind. I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? One else? Okay. If not, then this will be a quick one and we can close out this hearing. So thank you, Leah. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks.